Welcome to Vital Biology classes. For new updates, subscribe to the channel Vital Biology. The theme of our channel is Study Now, Be Proud Later. You can join our Vital Biology Telegram group and all the classes, notes, PDFs are available there. Link is provided below in description box. Hello everyone. So this class is for all the KSET life science aspirants. Okay. So in the last class we have stopped until the bacterial cell. So today let us continue with the organelles. Okay. Some of the organelles I have mentioned that first part, that is plasma membrane. Okay. So let us study some information about plasma membrane. So yeah. So plasma membrane is, first of all, basically it is the outermost layer in the animal cell. Okay. And in plant cell it is the second outermost layer, and in the bacterial cell it is the third outermost layer. Okay. So let us now see about the plasma membrane. So plasma membrane is extremely delicate, thin, elastic, living and semi-permeable membrane. So as you know that plasma membrane is very soft and delicate, and it is a thin in structure and elastic. You can observe here this structure is somewhat bent, so it is elastic and living part. Okay, in the cell this is also one of the living part, and it is a semi permeable membrane which selects only the particular molecules or else elements that which is needed for the cell, and if it's any waste that is produced in this cell, means it just throws out of the cell in this way, and if it's needed from out, it takes in this way. Okay. So this is one point of plasma membrane, and plasma membrane is made up of two layers of lipid molecules. You can observe here that these are present right, yeah, inside I'll mention it. So let us take this part. So this is lipid molecules. Okay. So oppositely here, sorry, one second. So these are the lipid molecules and two layers. Okay. So this is one of the layer and this is one of the layer. Okay. You can observe here itself. Okay. Red like threads, and upper side that is blue in color. So those are the two layers. Okay. So this plasma membrane is made up of two layers of lipid molecules. As I showed you, this is one of the lipid molecule. In this way, several molecules are, you can observe here itself, right? These blue colors and down also. So these are lipid molecules, and in which the protein molecules are floating. Okay. So this is a protein molecule, and this is also protein molecule. This is integral protein, they will tell, and this is a glycoproteins. Okay. So in this way these proteins are floating in that lipid molecules. Okay. So next point, the thickness of this plasma membrane is 70 to 110 angstrom. Okay. And can be observed under the electron microscope only. Why? Because this is not under observed under the compound microscope, because compound microscope is just like as I showed you in some previous classes, that just in this way it will just we will get. But in electron microscope we can also observe that the layer that is presenting on it in this way, and some of the lipids in this way in a little bit depthly you can observe here in the electron microscope. So let us see the function of plasma membrane. Mainly shape and size of the cell. Mainly this plasma membrane maintains the shape and size and structure of the cell. Okay. And if I'll just give an example, if it is surrounded it is surrounded to the cell. So if this plasma membrane gets any detached, like damage, how no, in this way, if it get like something open, all the organelles will get out and the cell will be died. So this is very necessary that plasma membrane should be maintained correctly in a proper way. Okay. Or else the cell will take a death. Okay. Next point, and it protects the internal contents of the cell. Like internal content, what are there in cell means mitochondria, ribosomes, lysosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, vesicles. All these are protected by this plasma membrane. This is the second function, and regulates entry and exit of the substances in and out of the cell. As I told you, some of the molecules that are helpful for the sorry some of the molecules that are helpful for the cell means it will enter here, and if it's not useful then it is thrown by using any lipid molecules, or else by using this protein it just goes out. Okay, so for example, some of the molecules are sodium, okay, and potassium. Okay, these are the very helpful molecules for the every cell. Okay, when this potassium comes in, why? Because potassium is very helpful for the cell, good for the cell. The sodium goes out of the cell. Okay, in that way. And next function is maintains the homeostasis, means temperature. It also maintains the temperature of the whole cell. Okay, so this much about the plasma membrane. So let's move on to the let's move on to the next, that is cell wall. So think of it, what I told in the previous class, that cell wall is present in the plant cell, but it's not present in the animal cell, right? So cell wall is a non-living. As you observed here in this previous slide, that plasma membrane is a living cell, living layer, but here the cell wall is a non-living. So here the non-living. Okay, you can observe here non-living and the outermost covering of the cell of plants and bacteria. Okay, and next point about the cell wall is it's very tough, rigid, means ಗಟ್ಟಿಯಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, it's very tough, rigid, and sometimes it's very flexible, means strong. And third point, that is it is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose, and pectin. Okay, you can observe here this this rod like structures, that is cellulose. Okay, and next hemicellulose, you can observe here that red color thread like structures, right? So that is hemicellulose. Okay, and next pectin, you can observe here pectin, here the blue color thin structure, that is blue in color, that is pectin. Okay, and let us move on to the next point. Like they may be thin or thick, ದಪ್ಪ ಇರ್ಬೋದು or else ಸಣ್ಣ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಆ ಲೇಯರ್. Okay, but multi-layered structure. Okay, but they are multi-layered structure. It may be this cell wall may be thin or else thick, but it is means multiple parts are present, like as I told you, cellulose, pectin, and hemicellulose, etc. Okay, so next, thickness of this varies from plasma membrane or else any other organelle. Here the thickness is 50 to 1000 angstrom. Okay, so next let us move on to the functions of the cell wall. So first function of the cell wall is it provides a definite shape, strength, and rigidity. Okay, it gives a definite shape for the cell and strength also. Okay, why? Because they have a parts, multi layers. Okay, this is one of the layer, yellow color, and this green color is one of the layer, and like this red color is one of the layer, and downside, that is plasma membrane. It also protects the cell wall. Okay, in that way it has a multi layer, so it gives a strength and rigidity, like ಗಟ್ಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಅಂತಾರಲ್ವಾ, so that it will give a strong energy for the cell. Okay, next second point, that is it provides a dry up of cells. This cell wall is very much helpful for the plant dryness. Okay, why? Because it does not leave to dry the plant, especially it is present in plants itself, right, and also bacteria. So it just enables to dry up of the cells. Okay, and next, helps in controlling the cell expansion, like the cell that is expanding, like ಅಗಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಾರಲ್ವಾ, it just spreads, expands, okay, like elastic. And next, fourth functional function of the cell wall is that it protects the cell from the external pathogens. Yeah, as I told you, pathogens, this some of the pathogens will be, right, like microorganisms that will come to infect the cells. So by that time it is a layer that protects them and just kills and throws out of the cell. Okay, this is the function and some of the main characters of the cell wall. So let us move on to the next, sorry, that is nucleus. So as I told you in the previous classes, nucleus is nothing but the genetic material that is carried by the nucleus, right? So this is a nucleus that carries the genetic materials, and this is spherical in shape, dense spherical body. It has a dense spherical shape and it is located at the center of the cell, and this nucleus mainly it is also called as heart of the cell. Okay, and it is present in the center of the cell. Okay, and its diameter varies from 10 to 25 micrometers. Okay, its diameter varies from 10 to 25 micrometers, and it is present in all the cells except red blood cells, RBCs, and sieve tube cells. So sieve tube cells are present in the plant cell, and this red blood cells are the animal cells. So here there is no presence of like nucleus. This is not present in red blood cells and sieve tube cells. So why this nucleus is not present in the red blood cells means, like there is the presence of hemoglobin, right? If there is a presence of nucleus means hemoglobin will not get particular space and place to live there. So without hemoglobin it's not called as red blood cells, right? Because it transfers the oxygen mainly, right? So because of the presence of hemoglobin in the RBCs, so there is a absence of nucleus. So nucleus is not there in RBCs. Okay, next, well developed in plant and animal cells. So this nucleus is very well developed in both the plant and animal cell. I have already shown you that which is plant cell and which is animal cell, what are the organelles are there, and bacteria as well also. So it is well developed in the plant and animal cell. And next point, that is like it will be undeveloped in bacteria and blue green algae, that is cyanobacteria. So in cyanobacteria and some of the bacteria, this nucleus is undeveloped. Okay, so next point is that most of the cells are uninucleus. Most of the cells are uninucleated. Okay, having only one nucleus. And few types of cells, like you can take like muscle cell or else like skeletal cell, there they have more than one nucleus, that is skeletal muscle cell. Okay, as I told you, one of the main example for more than one cell, presence of more than one nucleus in the cell, that is example like skeletal or the muscle cells. Okay, and let us move on to the next slide, that is some more information about this nucleus. So nucleus has a double layered covering that is called as nuclear membrane. So you can observe here somewhat it is double layered. Okay, so once again, somewhat it is double layered, right? So that is nuclear membrane. It's called as nuclear membrane, and nuclear membrane has a pores of diameter about. So nuclear membrane has a pores, you can observe here, these all are pores. Pores is nothing but holes it has, and its diameter, its size of that pores is 80 to 100 nanometer, not meters, it's a nanometer. Okay, and third point, that is colorless dense sap present inside the nucleus, that is called as nucleolus. One of the nucleoplasm. Okay, colorless, like if you take a cell, in that there is a colorless fluid that is called as cytoplasm, right? So in the same way here in the nucleus, it's also somewhat sap like structure, the uncolored or else colorless inside the cell, that is called as nucleoplasm. There we call it as cytoplasm, and here we call it as nucleoplasm, which is present inside and center of the cell. Okay, and this nucleoplasm contains the round shaped nucleolus. Okay, so this is nucleoplasm, as I told you. Now this is colorless and like yeah. So now the nucleoplasm contains a round shaped, again the round shape you can observe here, this is round shape, right? So that is called as nucleolus, and the network of chromatin fibers are present inside this nucleolus itself. So next point, fibers are composed of deoxyribonucleic acids. Okay, fibers, which here, and as I showed you, some of the fibers are there. So sorry, one second. So here in this cytoplasm inside, this and all contains deoxyribonucleic acid, simply called as DNA, and some of the protein histones. Okay, and next, these fibers condense to form the chromosomes during the cell division. Yeah, wait, I'll show you. So if this is a DNA, sorry, if this is a DNA, okay, so this just condenses. Okay, like in coming stages it just condenses, means fold ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, and finally by condensing they form a chromosome. Okay, in this way, this is, as you know, this is a chromosome, what we write in some records and all now. Okay, so we'll be writing now, this is chromosome. Okay, so let us see next thing, that is, yeah, so the third slide of nucleus is that the condensation of the DNA to form a chromosome. Okay, so here you can observe that, as I shown a simple diagram. So here you can observe that, sorry, once again, here you can observe that this is a DNA, right? After it's processing into, from the DNA it is forming a chromosome, you can observe here, right? So between this you can observe that some of the histone proteins are came there, octone. Okay, why? Because these histones are 8 in one roll of DNA. Okay, so finally it condenses, you can observe here, this is condensing here also, by condensing it forms a one of the chromosome. So this is a thing. And here let us come to the theory. So chromosomes contains the stretches of DNA called genes. So only one step means, if only one means this is DNA. Okay, if there is many, here you can see many of them like this. Okay, so totally this is called as genes, you can observe here itself, they have named it as gene. And next, genes transfer the hereditary information from one generation to next. So these genes are transferred from one person to the another person. It may be from father to son, and or mother to daughter, or mother to son, in that way. Okay, it will be transforming. Okay, so next, function of nucleus. What is the function of nucleus? Mean, that is, controls all the cell activities like metabolism, protein synthesis, growth, and cell divisions, right? So this nucleus works and activates the metabolism. So metabolism is nothing but some of the systems present inside our body, like cardiac system and excretory system, digestive system, immune system, and what is that, nervous system. In this way it just activates them metabolism movement system. And next, to protein synthesis, it helps in the protein synthesis with the help of the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, and it helps in the growth, and next, cell division, that is mitosis and meiosis. Okay, and next, nucleolus synthesizes RNA. Okay, ribonucleic acid. Okay, one thing you should keep in the mind, nucleus synthesizes the DNA and histone, but RNA is synthesized by nucleolus, not nucleus, it's a nucleolus. RNA is synthesized by nucleolus, and this RNA is a single stranded genetic material, and DNA is double stranded. Okay, but as I told you, nucleolus that synthesizes the RNA, not nucleus. So nucleus synthesizes the DNA. It's not, DNA is not synthesized by nucleolus. Okay, this is very confused question many times, so I am repeating again. Okay, so next, last function, that is it stores the hereditary information in genes. Yeah, so if some of the characters that are stored from in the genes, like uh, like mother may be white and she is very short, in that way means it also stores that information in this genes. And if like father also may be white in color and height, or else any knowledge thing, and skin color and shape of face, anything it may be, that materials are stored in this gene. Okay, so next, sorry, so next is, that is cytoplasm. This cytoplasm let us see in the later classes. Okay, thank you so much, bye bye. Thank you. All the class notes and other study materials provided in our Vital Biology Telegram group. Link is provided below in the description box. Like, share, subscribe and press on the bell button for the notification of newly updated classes.